TGIF, and welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the AL East, the Rays finished off a two-game sweep as they took down the Yankees in the Bronx 3-2. Looking at the standings, the Yankees sit in second place in the American League East Division, while the Rays are in third place in the AL East. The Orioles sent 3 balls into the seats as they beat the Blue Jays in Toronto 10-3. Heading into today, the Blue Jays sit in last place in the American League East Division, and the Orioles are atop the American League East Division. The Indians earned the 3-game series sweep as they took down the Chi Sox in front of a home crowd 6-2. As of today, the Indians are leading the American League Central, and the White Sox are in 4th place in the AL Central. The Minnesota Twins hit 3 long balls as they took down the Tigers in Detroit 12-0. Right now, the Tigers are in 3rd place in the AL Central, and the Twins are in 2nd place in the AL Central. The Kansas City Royals halted their 6-game losing streak as they grabbed the win against the visiting Athletics 5-4. Looking at the standings, the Royals are in last place in the AL Central, while the Athletics are in 1st place in the AL West. The Texas Rangers knocked out 10 hits as a team as they pulled off the win against the Angels in Orange County 5-3. Heading into today, the Angels sit in 4th place in the American League West, and the Rangers are in last place in the AL West. Wilmer Flores was clutch at the plate with 3 RBIs, as the Mets were winners over the Marlins 5-2. At the moment, the Marlins are in 4th place in the NL East, while the Mets are in 2nd place in the NL East. The Los Angeles Dodgers grabbed 13 hits in the game as they bested the Cubbies at Wrigley Field 9-6. Right now, the Cubs sit in 4th place in the National League Central Division, while the Dodgers sit in 1st place. Welcome everyone, let's jump right in and revisit the news and events from Monday. Looking first at the American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the O's in Baltimore 3-2. The Toronto Blue Jays pulled off the win against the Angels in Orange County 1-0. The Kansas City Royals combined to give up just 5 hits as they beat the White Sox on the south side 2-1. It was their 7th straight victory. Miguel Sano launched 2 home runs and added 5 RBIs to his total as Minnesota defeated the Rangers 13-4. The Brewers pounded out 17 hits in this one as they ran over the Reds 17-7. The Chicago Cubs swung it well with 15 hits in this one as they defeated the Pirates at PNC Park 5-3. The Hello there, baseball fans. Let's recap what went down around the league on Monday. Starting in the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles put together 10 hits total as they bested the visiting Nats 2-0. Lucas Duda had 3 hits in the contest, leading Tampa Bay to a win over Kansas City 3-2. Dan Otero was victorious for the 5th time this season, helping the Indians push past the Blue Jays 5-4. He is among the AL leaders in wins. The Reds launched 3 home runs as they defeated the visiting Yankees 5-4. The Oakland Athletics combined for 10 hits as a team as they defeated the visiting Angels 5-4. The St. Louis Cardinals cracked 16 hits on the day as they took down the Fish in Miami 10-5. Jeff Samardzija collected win number 3 this year as the Giants beat the Mets 3-2. It was their 5th straight victory. Pedro Strop grabbed his 4th victory out of the pen as the Cubbies disposed of the Rockies 4-3. The Dodgers allowed only 5 hits as they sank the visiting Buccos 7-4. Also from the boys in blue, Alex Wood reached the 500 career strikeouts milestone. The San Diego Padres cracked 14 hits overall as they were winners over the visiting Rangers 10-1. As always, thanks for tuning in. That's all we've got this morning. Enjoy the games later today, and we'll see you tomorrow. With the first-year player draft behind us, here's what happened on the diamond yesterday. Welcome to Inside the Show. It's the wild day that is the trade deadline. Starting in the AL East, the Royals completed a 3-game series sweep as they took down the Red Sox on the road. It's September 1st. Welcome to Inside. Happy Friday, baseball fans. Welcome to Inside the Show. Starting in the AL East, Richard Bleier. The regular season is winding down, but the postseason races are heating up. Here. The final postseason teams are jockeying for position. Welcome to Inside the Show. Looking first at the American League East, the Houston Astros combined to give up just 5 hits as they took down the Red Sox on the road 4-2. Looking at the standings, the Red Sox are in second place in the AL East, yet they currently hold a spot in the race for the American League wildcard, while the Astros are leading the AL West, an impressive 10 games ahead of second. The Yanks combined to allow only 4 hits as they took down the visiting Blue Jays 10-0. Heading into today, the Yankees sit in first place in the American League East Division. They are more than 10 games ahead of second. And the Blue Jays are third in the division. They're over 20 games out of first. Corey Dickerson had an outstanding day, driving in 5 on 3 hits as the Rays claim victory over the Orioles 9-3. At the moment, the Rays Hello, baseball fans. Thanks for joining us on this October morning. Here's what's going on around the league as the postseason rolls on. The Diamondbacks cracked 16 hits on the day as they defeated the visiting Giants, as they will now continue their postseason run and move on to play in the National League Division Series. And that's all for today's show. See you back here tomorrow for another postseason recap. Have a great day.
MLB Network is live and on the air with this special presentation of minor league postseason baseball. It's the one-game American League Wild Card playoff between the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian welcoming you into another edition of Major League Baseball coverage on MLB Network. Set for what should be a good one. Lineups and first pitch are next. Into the box now, Eduardo Nunez. He'll get us started in this one under the lights.
For Boston, third baseman, Eduardo Nunez.
Sent on the ground out to second. Throw on to first by Cano, and there's the first out of the inning.
Out in second, center fielder number 25, Rajai Davis.
Here's Rajai Davis now. The head-to-head with James Paxton, 4 for 14. He's taken him deep once. Weak grounder back to the mound. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. And he will recover in time to get it over to first. Nicely done there as they record the second out. And I thought this might happen based on how close that play was at first. The skipper's out of the dugout, and it looks as though he might decide to challenge that out call.
Well, I think we're going to have to wait and see what the word is from the dugout. But here's another look at it. Wow. Tough to tell if he was out for certain from that angle. I can see why this was a really tough call for the umpire.
And that's a thumbs up from the bench, so they will challenge the call on the field. So the umpires on replay duty in Manhattan will now review the play from all available angles in order to make the final decision.
The Red Sox have elected to challenge the previous
So here's
play.
one last look at that replay from another angle. There has to be indisputable evidence in order to change the call. And boy, I'll tell you what, I just don't see it there. I'd be pretty surprised if this challenge works out for them in this case.
And the review process appears to be coming to an end, so here comes the decision. And he is indeed out at first as originally called. So they lose the challenge and the ability to use any further challenges for the rest of the game. Oh, had him chopping at that one. It's 0-1. This is swung on and lifted down the left field line, but it'll get back into the crowd as he jumps ahead of him now, 0-2. And another foul ball.
That's a nice job of staying alive. A two-strike breaking ball just out of the zone. He was able to put enough on it to get another pitch.
Now another 0-2. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. Another 0-2 home. Now a swing and a ball popped high in the air over toward foul ground. And he will indeed make the play in foul territory to retire the side. Gene Segura standing in. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Leading out for the Mariners, the shortstop, Gene
And a fastball is in there for strike one.